So, it's the end of April, and that finally means we have another installment of SA Transport News. This episode I'll be covering March and April news, as there was not much going on in March at all, so I postponed the episode. First we're going to talk about rail and bus news, and then we're going to talk about the road stuff, including a new duplication project down south. So, first up we've got Gawler rail line electrification. So the first fun bit is completion of the project is now delayed. Yes, really, again. Originally the line was supposed to be opening up in stages from the end of this school holidays, but the line is now completely shut till November. Which will mean the line has almost had an entire year of service suspended with substitution. The government is of course blaming this on the pandemic and the Victorian lockdown, which has delayed supplies for the project, particularly of that of signalling equipment. Also related apparently is the collapse of SA Structural Steel, the main fabricators for the steel pylons used on the project. They have gone bust, and as such DIT has needed to find a new supplier. Nevertheless, good progress has been made on the project over the past 2 months. The upgrade is almost entirely complete from Adelaide to Salisbury, with works extending further north at the moment, but with a lot more stringing of wires to do. Adelaide Metro has taken advantage of the school holidays to shut most of the rail lines to enable electrification works to happen in the Adelaide rail yard where all the lines meet. As you can see from the photos scrolling past, it does seem like good progress has been made, and I am pleased to see the project getting closer to completion. Hopefully by November this time. Also, in even more fun GREP news, of the 12 electric trains ordered for the Gawler line, only 2 will be in service by the end of the year. Thanks again to the Victorian lockdown, as Bombardier, which is now Alstom, has been building them in its Melbourne facility. It seems diesel traction will not be going away on the line anytime soon. However, considering there are still spare train sets from the Seaford and Flinders line, it should not be the be-all or end-all, and there should still be a considerable amount of electrics to be used on the line when it opens back up, whenever it might do that. For bus news, the past 2 months have seen the proliferation of the new style Adelaide Metro bus stop signs. They have been appearing in go zones in the CBD and the suburbs since February. They're pretty modern, I'm happy to see them. I will be talking about them in an upcoming video about Australian bus stop signs. They have been appearing in various suburban routes. For example, I was on the 502 last week and I saw them there. And they've also been appearing in the CBD in their larger form, and I'm sure they'll be rolling out across the rest of this network pretty soon. Otherwise, it looks like Adelaide Metro's next articulated bus is pretty close to being finished, as this video from Bus Tech and Facebook shows. I can't believe I talked about this all the way back in February, and it's now only nearing completion, probably for delivery in the next month, hopefully. But I am excited as the first time Adelaide has made a fully articulated bus all on its own. We now turn our attention to the various road projects going on in South Australia. I won't be going over all of them, as there's more than a dozen now, and most of them are pretty uninteresting. But at the time of recording, several are nearing completion and many are under construction. Of particular note are the 2 major regional projects, Port Wakefield Road Overpass and Port Augusta Bridge duplication. They're progressing well, and I'm excited to see them. But for the main event in our road category, we have the 2 new road duplications that got announced in the past month. We now have some concepts for Main South Road and Victor Harbour Road duplications. These works combined are 560 million. There is several scenarios that have been proposed for the solution to the road. The cheapest and most cost effective that would allow for the most duplication involves dual lane roundabouts in most intersections. The alternative is an overpass on a section of Main South Road, but this involves massively scaling down some sections of Main South Road duplication. A lot of locals are complaining about the roundabout solution, saying it will cause congestion and slow down traffic. Also worth noting on this channel is there is a proposed shared use path bikeway along Main South Road connecting up to the Seaford Rail Line bikeway, which is something I'm very happy to see in this project. The official position of this YouTube channel is the roundabouts are fine and allow for the most duplication to take place. I don't think the overpass is super necessary, and I think the roundabouts are a fine solution. Overall, both duplication projects are pretty okay. I'm not too happy with the price tag. 560 million for a few dozen Ks of duplicated road really doesn't sound that value for money, does it? And also, I did forget to mention, this month saw massive delays on the Southeastern Freeway. The truck broke down. Making the problem worse, of course, is the current resurfacing of the highway going on, as restricted lanes are in place on the freeway already. Some people have called for bans on trucks during peak times, and there's an article in the paper about fast trains to Mount Barker. A video I feel I must eventually make, as getting better public transport to Mount Barker should really be a priority for the government. And that's about all for March and April at this time. Not a whole lot going on, but progress continues to march forward as we start approaching the next state budget update. Hopefully we're going to get some new projects announced. One I'm particularly interested in is what's happening with the Harndorf. The feds managed to pork barrel $250 million into that last year. We don't know what it's being spent on yet, that's fun. But hopefully it won't be just an interchange, and there might be some fun stuff too. As always, I've tried to keep this video pretty short, but invariably, as with all my videos recently, it is getting longer and longer and longer. So thank you for watching the video, like, subscribe, etc., and I will see you in May, maybe.